All right. Welcome to the show. Let's wait for a few people to roll in. We'll take a smudge break while we're waiting. Again, if you guys have anything you'd like to share, any information, things you'd like to talk about, we have quite a bit to talk about today, but it is an open panel if I like the subject. Let's see, where were we? Oh yeah, this is a good place to start. I haven't gone through this, so this is some of this stuff I've looked at, some of it I haven't. Hi Nina, good to see you. Taking a smudge break for the moment. Put me in solo. I can't find my smudge stick at the moment, so this will have to do. Good to see y'all. Welcome. So we're going to take a look at a bunch of things today. Not that. There we go. There it is. Be right back? Okay. Hey, come on up if you want to, Nina. There's a link. My first subject today is kind of fun. Kinda. So it's, where are we here? CIA declassifies book detailing how the world will end. A book classified by the CIA for more than 50 years contains a shocking theory about how the world will end. There's a small video, I believe. It was quietly the Adam and Eve story written by former U.S. Air Force employee, UFO researcher, and self-acclaimed psychic Chan Thomas. It was written in 1966, but its publication was halted by the agency. It was quietly declassified in 2013, at least in part, but remained hidden in the CIA's database till now. So that's going to be exciting. It looks like they have a small video we can look at. Let's take a look here. In the book, Thomas claims every 6,500 years, a major disaster on the scale of biblical great flood strikes the earth. While experts debate the exact date of the flood, in the book of Genesis, Thomas asserts that it happened roughly 6,500 years ago, and there's some archaeological and geological evidence to support that claim. By that logic, Thomas argues that the next catastrophe is imminent. A lot of people think pole slips and stuff like that, mud floods. As for what the end of the world will look like, Thomas believes that the Earth's magnetic field will suddenly and drastically shift. There we go. Wreaking havoc across the planet. The reason behind the book was classified remains unclear, but some have suggested the agency was concerned the book could cause mass panic or leak information related to secret government research. Thomas had connections to classified projects during his time at the defunct aerospace company, McDonnell Douglas. He was part of a small team of scientists assembled by the company to investigate reports of UFOs. While there are no official records of Thomas working directly with the CIA, the agency's secrecy agreement means past employees need to get approval before publishing books and other works of communication. Interesting. Let's see what they have here. Check your comments. Hi, Chloe. Good to see you. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can hear this. Doing the white circle of death on me. So interesting, they point to a pole flip, citing that it could cause people distress. That sucks. This is just locked up on me. Let me try a refresh here. Oh, yeah, get your more radiation hat. Hey, I like these ads. Because they're all geared towards me anyway, so. Earthing blankets. Look at all the ads that are geared towards me. Shirts, EMF shirts. It's hilarious. I'm just playing a video and playing ads. Okay. No? Okay. Skip ad. There we go. Once a century, discovery is unearthed like Pompeii. Why is it still ads? You can't get past these ads. You're kidding me. It's just ad after ad. I get 3 seconds of the video and then they play the ads again. Okay, so this is useless. Okay, let's go forward again. That was hilarious. Okay, so we'll just read. They won't let me play the video. You had a lot of videos like that yesterday? Yeah, that's bizarre, eh? So if you're sharing any information, well, if it was just happening to you, were you online? Like you weren't trying to stream it, you were just trying to watch it. So that's hilarious. Okay. As for what the end of the world will look like, Thomas believes the Earth's magnetic field will suddenly drastically shift, wreaking havoc across the planet. The reason behind the book was classified remains unclear, but some suggest the agent was concerned about world causing mass panic or leaked information. I read that. Many connections, no records of him working with the CIA. Okay, here we go. In California, the mountains shake like ferns in a breeze. The mighty Pacific rears back and piles up into a mountain of water. more than 2 miles high, then starts its race eastward, Thomas wrote in his book. In a fraction of a day, all vestiges of civilization are gone, and the great cities, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, Dallas, New York, are nothing but legends, he writes. Barely a stone is left where millions walked just a few hours before. The first chapter, titled The Next Cataclysm, starts with, like Noah's 6,500-year flood, 65,000 year ago flood, like Adam and Eve's 11,500 year ago, this too will come to pass. The cryptic opening suggests that the next cataclysm is poised to occur any day now. The book features 55 pages, but Thomas wrote more than 200. The rest are still kept top secret to this day, and the reason for the CIA's involvement remains a mystery. The apocalyptical tale begins with the destruction of California, explaining how winds with force of 1,000 armies will shred everything in sight with its supersonic bombardment, as the Pacific tsunami drowns Los Angeles and San Francisco as if they were but grains of sand. Thomas claims these impacts will overtake the entire North American continent within 3 hours, as an earthquake simultaneously creates massive cracks in the ground that allow magma to rise to the surface. Well, that's horrible. Okay. There he is. Chan Thomas. But it won't just be North America that's swallowed by the destruction. None of the 7 continents will be able to escape the onslaught. Thomas writes, with each one expecting slightly different versions of the same dramatic end. By the 7th day, the horrendous rampage is over and the entire earth has changed, he writes. The Bay of Bengal Basin, just east of India, is now at the North Pole. The Pacific Ocean, just west of Peru, is at the South Pole, Thomas explains. Even Greenland and Antarctica have been thrown towards the equator and find their ice caps dissolving madly in the tropical heat. Thomas paints a terrifying picture of civilization destroying climate change and tectonic rearrangement, but there's no scientific evidence to suggest that such a cataclysm is possible. It's just unfortunate that these things are being put out there. Martin something, a senior research scientist at the NASA Legacy Research Center, told The Verge. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof, and there's no proof and no science and no physics behind any of the claims about magnetic field change being associated with climate change. What's more, there's no evidence to suggest the Earth's magnetic field has ever or will ever make a 90-degree flip. I heard claims of that before, that there were deposits laid down that showed a magnetic change, but I don't know. Let's see what you guys have to say about it. Hey, Mr. Mission, hi Manel. Schumann is off the hook today. Yeah. We got snow coming down. Kind of looks like foggy snow. Cloud frequency too. All right. Oh, Desert Rose here too. Hi, Desert Rose. Why would anyone want to destroy the Earth? Because it's not owned by us. It was a gift to treasure. Yeah, snow fog. I don't know. I thought there was some evidence to suggest that, but you never know. Good to see you, Menno. All right, let's continue on here. Okay, so that is totally bogus. If that's what happened every 6,500 years, we would certainly see it It would be in all the records. The amount of energy to bring that about is tremendous. And you know, there's nothing to initiate it, that guy said. That said, the Earth's magnetic poles do shift and do so hundreds of times throughout the planet's history, according to NASA. This phenomena is called pole reversal. Paleomagnetic records suggest it occurs every 300,000 years on average, though the actual time intervals vary widely. During a pole reversal, the magnetic field weakens but doesn't completely disappear. The magnetosphere, together with the Earth's atmosphere, continue protecting Earth from cosmic rays and charged solar particles, though there may be a small amount of particulate radiation that makes its way down to the Earth's surface. The magnetic field becomes jumbled, and multiple magnetic poles can emerge in unexpected places. But this never causes the kind of widespread devastation that Thomas described in his book. So, you know, that's what I believed when I first heard about pole shifts. That was when I was a kid, learning about the different laydown of the materials. Even if his theory about why and how the world will end had scientific merit, there would still be reason to question his claim that the apocalypse is imminent. He states that the last catastrophe of this nature, known as biblical flood, happened 6,500 years ago, and that this means we're due for the next one. There is some geological and archaeological evidence to suggest that date may be correct. For example, 2006 claimed that a 65,000-year-old wood recovered from the landing of the Noah's Ark site was actually part of the Ark itself. Interesting. But the wood's age has been challenged by experts. The more widely accepted date range for the flood is between 4,000 and 5,000 years ago. If this event truly occurred during that time, then Thomas estimated timing for the end of the world would be more than 1,000 years off. That's not a perfect system, eh? Therefore, the evidence suggests that a violent disaster detailed in the Adam and Eve story will not actually come to pass. Yeah, I don't see a problem, really, with the Earth's magnetic field changing. I don't think it's a really big problem. If it changed from positive to negative, I still think our Earth would still spin the same way it does, even with the pole right now, or having been at some time down in Russia. It didn't, in our lifetimes, right? It didn't seem to affect the day, the seasons, or anything. The Earth just kept spinning at the same rate at the same time. Let me check that out, Danny. Remember, guys, a lot of YouTube stuff I can't play. So if it's YouTube, I may not be able to play it. Oh, yeah. Let's see what that is, Danny. Other people can play it. I just can't. Oh, okay. I can show this. Let me turn me off. The Mariana Trench there. Let's see at the bottom of the trench water. Oh, this is yours. Yeah, your stuff I can play. Queen of Mariana of Austria. Islands are part of the arc that's formed over into a long ridge called the Mariana Trench. Nuclear waste disposal in the hope that the tectonic plate subduction occurring at the site might eventually push the nuclear waste deep into the Earth's mantle, the second layer of the Earth. Oh, God. Idiots. In 1979, Japan planned to dump low-level nuclear waste near Maui in the Northern Marianas. However, ocean dumping of nuclear waste is prohibited, hopefully. Furthermore, plate subduction zones are associated with very large megathrusts, earthquake, the effects of which are, upthrust. That's not good. There are people that are credited in North America in the Cretaceous, talking about pole shifts. Oh, Gondwana, yeah. I think there was a smaller Earth. Well, it was bigger, then it was smaller, then it became smaller. Hi, you tell me. Good to see you. Earth is coming to Earth soonish. Yeah, maybe. No. I look. Maybe we'd be better on a negative, in a negative magnetic field of the Earth than a positive one. At the top here, we're in the positive part of the torus field. That's the electric drawing in. The other half is the magnetic expansive part of the field. I don't know. Would you rather be drawing in or expansive? Hi, Nina. Good to see
Hey,
you.
how's it going?
Good. What do you think of pole shifts?
Yeah, we did a whole series on that on my channel. We were reading from the what was that thing called now? Adam and Eve story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people are kind of debating that whether or not that was, true or not. But interesting read though for sure.
Yeah.
It makes you ponder, like maybe that's what's actually going on, and everything else is just a distraction. You
Could
know?
be. Could be. You know. Uh, I don't think it's going to happen myself, just because everything is happening right now. You
Well,
know.
actually, it already has happened. The polls
Well,
have,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
The laydown of the sediment shows that the poles have shifted, but they don't necessarily show a cataclysm associated with it. So yeah, it's kind of up in the air. I don't know which one. Could be. It could cause a. I guess it could cause a cataclysm. I would hate that, but that is happening right now. Kind of. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it shows that we've gone through this before, and it does kind of make sense. Everything does shift, if we all of a sudden
Yeah,
change
like there are
direction.
cataclysms. There are cataclysms. I don't know that they're caused, or maybe maybe pole shifts happen during cataclysms. All that
I think, yeah, it seems to
water
be in
moving
a
around
cycle.
and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Everything seems to be in cycles here.
Yeah,
Every so many thousands of years, same with earthquakes and all of these things. It's the Earth's way of
yeah,
basically turning around in bed, so to speak. You know what I mean? It needs to turn and shift, and just
yeah,
like we do, and so unfortunately, anything that's on the surface is gonna pay the price, though. So, and I think
yeah.
this is what's
Oh,
been
that's
happening to us.
washing. Could
Part
be.
of it. And
Yeah.
if they know that, they're definitely going to play into it and prepare
Mm.
for it on their end. Of course, that's probably why, or one of the reasons why I think that they are going underground. All the rich people are spending millions of dollars on bunkers and whatnot, and makes you wonder, like, what do they know that we don't know? You
Yeah, they got to
know?
build them special ones that are earthquake proof. They actually have like a layer of
Yeah.
springs or water around the inner chamber so that it can rock about, in this
Hmm.
gelatin stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hi, Angel Wings. And I have to say hello to Peaches. Get some treats out of Mummy there. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
in
just
their
there's something
bunkers.
to it. And then if you want to go with the Anunnaki story, I do believe they talk about, when they come here, on their big space shift, it does erupt the surface as well, kind of
Mm.
like a pole shift type of event. And so if they are coming back, that might not be a good thing for us on the surface.
Yeah.
So there's that as well. I,
Yeah, not that the surface is all that habitable at this point. Anyways, with drones, they're going to unleash DARPA dogs and drones, and they're putting up radiation posts everywhere, all over the place.
Well, one of the theories on that, as well as why they're spraying, why they're doing all of the things that they're doing that aren't good for humans, is that maybe they're preparing the atmosphere down here for them to return.
Yeah, yeah. One of my theories on spraying is that they use that particulate to sense if uh, other craft are coming in from other places, because you
Right.
see a huge disturbance in it, no matter how fast or how stealthy you are. If you start moving around physical particles like aluminum and that, they're gonna see it.
Yeah, I mean, they were saying, or one of the theories was that they were spraying so that they could detect radiation and whatnot.
Mm.
And I would assume that the
Yep.
advanced crafts probably do give off some
Yep.
kind of radiation or whatnot. So maybe that's what they're measuring. Yeah, it's
Oh yeah, I
possible.
remember a little while ago they lost quote unquote radioactive material. It was medical grade stuff, nothing really that you could use to blow up a city or anything. You could
Hmm.
poison people with it, but they probably did put that out there to try to use some of their sensing technology to see if they could find it. You know,
Hmm.
move it around. Try and hide it, that type of thing.
Hmm.
You know, yeah, spraying is to control and sense. It's sensing and control, logging in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, is that a bell?
Mm. As my cup stuck to the table.
Oh, I thought you were dinging a bell. Oh, something's going
Yeah,
on.
I do have some things. My ashtray sounds like a bell too.
Is it?
Yeah, I've got a metal ashtray over there. Every time I hit it, it sounds like a bell. It's got a nice sound to it.
Hmm. Yeah, apparently the moon rings like a bell too when you hit it with
Yeah.
something. Hmm.
Hi, Dreamwalker. Hi, Dream Spacewalker. Spring Dream Space Wake Walker. That's a mouthful.
Hmm.
All right, that was the CIA. Okay. Oh yeah, here we go. This is kind of cool. So OpenAI has created an AI model for longevity science. So their quest for immortality. Oh, there's the ocean. Hi, D.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. We're getting immortality now.
Okay.
Ooh, are we? I've been waiting for that.
Mm.
I'm a senior now.
Oh,
I've
they're,
been
they're
waiting for
yeah.
immortality.
Just keep giving them your tax dollars, and they'll give it to you for sure.
Are
I don't
you
think I would
sure?
wanna.
Okay.
They'll heal you up any ailments you have. They've got an electronic cure for it. Just keep paying your tax dollars, and someday they'll give it to you.
Well, I'm really liking, though, Trump's idea about the External Revenue Service. And then eventually he wants to get rid of the infernal revenue.
Oh,
Did you
okay.
hear that one?
Well, yeah, of course you could have AI do it in drones, right? Just have a bunch of DARPA drones
What it
running
is
around
the
collecting tax dollars.
the external revenue is he's just gonna say that all of our money's gonna come from people wanting to do business here. It's gonna come from taxes and tariffs on people bringing stuff in and so on. And that should be enough. And once he's got that going, he's gonna try and get rid of the IRS.
Yeah, our government, we're going to cut off fuel, and the tiny percent of fuel that you guys buy from us, we're going to cut that off, man. That'll teach you real bad. And
Yeah,
then
that'll teach us.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll show you,
And
man.
Trump's gonna drill, baby, drill, and probably not even notice. hardly.
I'm in Canada for everyone who doesn't know. So
But,
Canada's
you
going to
know,
cut off the fuel that we supply the States. That's going
Canada forever.
we're going to cripple
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah. Not very many threats coming from
You know,
Canada,
they went right to trade wars
except
instead of saying instead of like some platitude, which would have been better. I don't know why most politicians would have gone for a platitude of, oh yeah, we're going to fix our border, we're going to we'll get some funding and we'll get things going and we'll stop that and then just let it continue to happen. But no, they started a trade war, so that was on purpose. So it part of the
well,
collapse.
see, that's funny. It's really funny because
We had no problem
if
lying to you
you
guys in the past.
let me get some of the
Canadian government
out of the way.
constantly lies to the U.S. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's funny what they thought was going to work.
But yeah,
But it
we
didn't
didn't.
work
We
here. That
decided
they
that
just took the money and did nothing. It worked here just fine for a long time.
there are
I mean, that's what happened in California. They just took the money and didn't do anything. Lots and lots of money and
why
didn't
don't
do
they do
anything.
that? That'd be more money in their pockets. Oh, let's start up a $3 billion program to secure the border and pocket all the money. That's what they do with everything else. Why don't they want to start up
It's
a program?
it's kind of crazy because we've got
Oh, med beds.
what the,
They exist.
oh wait
I
a
was
minute,
watching
got
this
some
video. They were talking about that the fires that we just had in California, that water wouldn't be able to put them out anyways because they're chemical. So it makes you
chemical
wonder, is that
fires.
Oh yeah, the lithium
Is-
battery.
makes you
pack.
wonder,
Oh,
is
that's
that why they
the
didn't put
battery.
water in there? So we wouldn't notice?
Yeah, water just makes it.
No, that's a different issue. That's a different place. Palisades is where they didn't put any water in. Palisades Reservoir.
Yeah, they probably dumped water.
The reservoir that supplied water to the Palisades is a different place than the
than the fire.
I thought the hydrants were dry. The hydrants were dry.
They were.
Not where the battery fire is, but in Palisades
it's not
they
where
were.
the battery fire is.
Two different areas. It's two different.
So I don't know why they're talking about that then. Why is it in the news that there's no water in there?
Because if we have the cold snap that we're having, that is a huge power plant, supplies a lot of power to a lot of places. And if all of a sudden we have a cold snap, people are going to be using a lot more electric, and suddenly zippity zap, there's probably going to be power outages. That's why it's coming up. It's because it's yet another thing. I mean, we knew they were going to throw the kitchen sink. Look at the picture that I said was, my calendar that I was going to put out. Look at that. They're going to throw in everything. Okay. It's going to be a bar fight. It's going to be crazy. This is the last gasp for them. So they're throwing in everything they can. They're throwing everything they can out there to see what sticks.
That's all about.
But none of it's going to stick. We're going to get through this. But
there's a lot of distractions out there. To keep us fighting. You're looking in the chat here. People are arguing about it's just that's what they do. To keep us fighting amongst ourselves and question things and distracting us.
Yeah. The whole idea, the whole thing has always been divide and conquer. It's always been, the bait and switch. It's always been the smoke and mirrors and look at this hand, don't look at that hand. This hand is what's really doing.
Speaking on Trump here, let's take a look at what Trump's doing here.
2018 invested into the mRNA vaccines and your future cities, which is your smart cities and also your wireless communication systems. So anybody who tells you that Trump is not involved in the agenda is full of fucking shit. Turn them off. They're dumb, they're retarded, and they don't fucking read.
And they don't want to admit that he already promised the blockchain nerds were good to go. They don't want to talk about what he's been making money off of with the rest of them, the neocons. The same neocons that know all about. What do they always tell you? Well, Trump's uncle worked at MIT. In the same places and spaces like my family. Whoopsie! And so what are you doing? We're going to live forever in our smart city. You guys have been augmenting yourselves for 15 years. How come you didn't tell anybody 15 years ago? You're going to save everybody. You're heroes. Because that's not what this is for, and you all know it.
Dumb cities.
So, again, politicians do not mean crap.
Maybe, yep. We are pretty much in a cage looking out right now.
This is business. This is cybersecurity. We need to talk about this. No, we just go vote. And I'm like, that ain't going to do anything. Well, we'll educate people and tell them to vote. Right. And I'm like, that's still not going to change anything.
Yeah, did something.
People need to care, human to human. What we run into, their bank accounts. And who did they go out there and attack? Well, it wasn't the wrong tip of the spear. And it wasn't any of these people with Maven and Lucky Palmer. Nah, they're all in there with Trump's administration, with Burgum and Vance and all of them. Electronic warfare. 70 years.
See, we all voted in the other side. We're all safe now.
No damn idea. And then if you ask them how, they'll just look at you and laugh. And if you try to talk about your own anatomy that they're using for this, you're crazy. And it never ends. It's a cycle. And then you have your MUFON distractions, all these people lying about different things, and some of them don't even know that they're lying. Their brains could already be half eaten away with agentic AI. They don't know any better. But it was a psyop, so we could save the planet.
So many psyops.
Mars.
Ooh, my.
Is anybody going to make Elon accountable?
See, and we covered,
crashing and apparently some Starlink
bullshit.
Put him on a pedestal, but nobody ever drags him out here, and they're like, "Hey, how
he's probably are you his bowl somewhere?"
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that on the moon's surface. Constant, consistent, ubiquitous, like you're monitoring us from under the skin, communication to the surface of the moon. I mean, we were there in 1969. You would think it'd be no big thing. But NASA's been spinning excuses for years. Oh, we lost the tapes. We can't go back. And so in Project Artemis, I've been looking and looking and looking. I can't find anything except your little X-38 secret spy plane. Well, that's not a surface beacon to the surface of the moon. That is a moving sat. And we've had those since the 40s. So what are you doing? It's the same thing. Transhumanism is at the cost of everybody else. Throughout human history, by the way.
Yep. So yeah, they're after transhumanists.
This is what
they don't want you to be human.
Do. And if you don't agree with them, well, then you're going to disappear. Your children get put on a train and handed off to whoever said, okay, I'll do what you say. And they do it again. American Civil War, really weird things. Yeah, no kidding.
Re-education.
Technology. Yeah, you're letting it happen again. If you don't return human anatomy to humans so they understand it's anatomical, they don't understand anything other than, if I vote, and will they stop hurting me? And I'm so sick, and I feel awful. Yeah, it's called radiation poisoning. We continue to try to help you understand. If you can't admit your own anatomy in the way they're connecting it, then we got nowhere to go, because these are the people that are in charge of all the buttons. These are the people that are calling the shots for well over 100 years. But Trump's uncle looks to be making really good money, as well as the rest of the family. And I tried to help you understand. Life extension technology and human augmentation are Seg 12 in the Agenda 30 goals. And everybody just wants to run around and play with MUFON. And I'm like, yo, you got to die to upload to the cloud. That's great. Okay, but I don't want that for my daughters. You're crazy. Shut up and do what we say. We'll give you a donut.
Oh, that's like the show Upload. Anybody watch that?
What's that?
The show Upload. You got to see that.
No, I've never seen it. So yeah, that's where they are. Part of the system.
The show
there.
Upload. Basically, it's all about about what happens after they upload you when you're dead.
Oh, well, you're dead. Uploading is not
And
really,
it's
as
funny
far
as
as,
heck and really sobering
yeah,
because
well, you're dead. You're
you're
not
dead.
uploading,
Yeah.
you're dead. you know,
Upload is about,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, they want to
No,
convince us
no.
for that.
What
They
the
want us
show
to,
is about is they take your consciousness and they upload you
yeah,
to a
yeah. They want,
database, to a and it's really, and they really bring out a lot of things that I think are actually being truthful.
yeah. Well, that's what
And
they
one of
want
the
us to
things
do
they
that.
bring out is about the Tesla cars. They had people getting killed in Tesla cars because they know too much. And all of a sudden the car goes crazy and flies off into the lake or something, or into the
Yeah.
ocean or whatever. Anyway, what? I'm sorry. I was having too much fun there. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Nothing. I forgot. Nothing to worry about.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
If you haven't seen Upload, go see Upload. It'll explain a lot of things. I think it's a lot of things on their mind. I think there's a lot of plans explained by Upload. They
Yeah,
explain a lot of things in our media that they won't tell us, but they'll make shows about it. You know how that is.
Real quick, before we get into the
I
2025
wouldn't want to be
presidential
there.
budget for the
I wouldn't
National
want to.
Nanotechnology Initiative, how about we help you understand what the telecommunications investment actually was? Here's your International Telecommunications Union, working on the Internet of Bio-Nano Things with your nanotechnology, your intra-body smart computing in the human body. DNA-based nano networks, realizing the Internet of Bio-Nano Things at your Carleton
Genosensors.
University, working in collaboration with your International Telecommunications Union and your National Science Foundation. And your doctors want to keep trying to tell you that they don't know what the Internet of Bio-Nano Things is. So then why is the medical design briefs building the Internet of Bio-Nano Things? The IOBNT refers to biosensors, which your doctors will not admit to even exist, that collect and process data, nanoscale labs on a chip that run medical tests inside the body. This is where your medical professionals go to see the newest emerging technologies that they have to get
No,
their
not me.
labs,
That's
their
right.
doctor's
It's
offices,
a person
their
viewing the video.
tools prepared for. And you're still going to try and tell me that your doctors have no idea what any of this is? Anybody that's claiming that still is full of fucking shit. Turn them off.
Turn them off.
The Internet of Bio-Nano Things, IOBNT, promises to revolutionize medicine and healthcare. Looks like it already has, because everybody has it in them that's taking these injections. And probably most of your medications these days do, which you will find out when you actually listen to the entire document of the 2025 presidential budget for the National Nanotechnology.
Wow. Rumble Dad, you're on fire. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the sound now for just a second, because he's got
So
the
yeah,
AI
if anyone
reading
thinks
to
that
you,
Trump's not,
and it goes through the AI
won't
reading to
stop.
you after Professor.
Okay, yeah. If anyone thinks that Trump's an outsider and going to save us, he's sending us down the same road. It'll be a nicer road, I think. I think that's all they're offering us is a nicer road to hell.
It's the same people behind it all.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's same with Poilievre. When he comes in, nothing's going to change as far as the end result. Okay.
Mhm.
He works for the same people as well. It's just that we're going to go more conservative now. That's all. That's all.
Yeah.
So,
Trump is an actor.
you know, there's no election. It's all a selection decades prior to, you know. So, we're actually going to be talking about that tomorrow on my show.
Yeah. Here's a fun one. Everybody knows
Well,
about this.
if our vote really was the big deal that people think it is, there wouldn't be an electoral college. So.
No, they're not going to take a chance on just some schmuck being elected in. You know, that's not just going to, that's not how it works, you know. No.
Yeah, it's a selection more than an
Careful
election.
selection, years, decades prior. Yeah, you've been groomed for the position.
Yeah,
Boys
they
are
took the
not
mask
taking
off
a chance like that.
they totally took the mask off in Europe, saying Romania elections are nullified, and they'll nullify the German elections if the wrong person gets in, which
Oh,
looks
really?
likely. Yeah. So here we have our phones flashing all over the place at us. And what they're doing, what they're planning for is light communication and light DNA origami or editing, basically with CRISPR technology inside you, or mRN, and yeah, light technology for stimulation of cell generation, programming. So yeah, it's fun, and they're doing it to everybody with
Ooh,
phones.
stimulation sounds sexy.
I knew you'd like the stimulation.
Ooh, yes. Sounds so sexy. What are you doing over there, son?
So light activated CRISPR triggers precision gene editing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's where they're moving to, is
Okay,
light
so I am
communication.
willing to listen to all of this stuff. It's just that all of this hell
Hey,
and
Colin.
darkness that you're seeing, I'm just not seeing it though.
Oh,
So
it
that's
could
the
be both.
problem, is I'm not
It
seeing
could go either way.
what I'm seeing is not what you're describing.
This could be used for healthcare, and it
So,
could be
well,
used
I
to
think,
destroy a person.
yeah, as well, that's just it. I think we're at a
Right?
crossroads, and I think
What
we've
they're
really
doing
got to
now,
take
what
up
they're
our own
doing right
power.
now, is they're using this for themselves, these technologies, to improve their lives, and allowing us, okay, to be subject to all of the radiation, the background radiation and stuff that they have
Absolutely.
cures for. So yeah, there's a bit of a problem, you know. If
Yeah.
you don't
My
see what that
question is,
problem
what
is,
was
you know, I can't help you.
what was in the fog, for instance, was accelerant? What if it was the little black nanoparticles that can
Well, they
move
can
all
put
kinds of
particles in it,
objects
but I've shown
inside
on the
the
show
players?
fog computing. Have you heard of
Yeah.
fog computing? Okay, yeah. So that's what they
No.
were using that for, was testing out their systems to see if they could sense and send data, increase connectivity between devices, things like that. But they can put nanotech in it. Some people think they put fibers. Some people said they put little black things. Yeah.
Well, the little black things, it's really funny because I saw the little black things in the guy's dog water dish, that he was saying, what in the heck are these things that came out of the fog? And then I saw a video about the little nano robots, okay, and what they can do and how they squiggle around and move around and and organize themselves. And I'm thinking, well, you could start fires with that. That could be why the drones could be like giving them orders, for all we know. The
Could be.
drones could be, it could be that there's accelerant in the fog and too, and that's why it smells that way.
Well, even
Then
aluminum itself is flammable. So if they're
yeah,
spraying aluminum particulate, aluminum's flammable. So
I mean, that could be part of it, and to make it more conductive, yeah, it's more conductive, and if there are really reptilians and stuff that live in highly radioactive and etc., different climate, different conditions than we do, and thrive in that. I said this a long time ago. They're terraforming. Then this is terraforming. This could very easily be terraforming. So, I mean, that's one thing. If you want to go way out on the woo, is that they're trying to do all of this before we can get. I find it really interesting that it's right now, just before Inauguration Day, though. I find that very interesting. So,
everything's happening right now.
Why now? Why are they thrown in the kitchen sink now?
everything's going.
You
Everything's
know,
up.
if
That's what they're doing.
Because
You know,
we're
we've
at the
got-
end now. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're really at the end. And so
I know there it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're at the
these
end.
are coming to Canada,
Yeah.
are they?
So
These are in
basically,
Canada?
this is the real.
Apparently, yeah.
But you know, that's the thing. They might be available, but we can't afford it. These will just be for the rich people.
Yeah, if you got the
Yeah.
money.
I mean, shit, you go to the doctor and he diagnoses you with something, you need to go for a test. We still have to wait 5-6 months to get that test.
Oh yeah.
You know, like you might be dead by then. You know what I mean? Like that's the Canadian healthcare system right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so for those who don't know. Yeah, it's
And this
horrible. It
will
might
help.
be free, but you might be dead by the time you get in there for a test though. So, yeah.
Public healthcare system, and we don't envy it anymore. We used to think it was what a great idea it was to have public health care like that blah blah blah, and it's like no. We don't envy you guys anymore because we've seen how it's playing out for you.
Oh yeah, it's not good.
So
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about your luck.
It's almost like it's you know, designed that way because they're hoping you're going to be dead by the time you get your test. You know.
sorry.
So-
to
Forget about that retirement.
positivity to this.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sorry to bring positivity in. So I'm going to be the angel's advocate here. And I don't know what the heck that means.
Well, we just have to take
But-
control of that, and the only way to do that is through knowledge, right? If nobody knows about it, we're never going to
Yes,
take control of this.
I keep saying, you know, people present it like this is going to happen. And it's like, not necessarily. Not
No.
necessarily.
Otherwise, I wouldn't bother. Why would I
You can't be
bother if I
telling
thought,
me that we're going to die?
if I thought
You're
it
going
was
to
hopeless?
die. I mean,
I
they've
wouldn't
been-
bother. You know?
Yeah, so they got to give us some
Yeah.
hope, you know. Obviously, they got to make us think that we have free will and that we, you know, we can change things, but really, you know, it's do we though?
So
you
you
know,
think
like
it's
how
really
much
hopeless? Are you telling?
well, how much of our thoughts and whatever are actually being influenced by something else? You know, how much of that is
Well,
actually
what do you-
our own thoughts? You know, like that's the thing. And once you start getting into there, it can get a little scary. But you know, as we're so easily influenced, and we, you know, we go on emotions and hormones, and we're so complicated that way.
Well, that's
We don't
true.
think straight
I
most of the
just want
time.
to figure out how far along they are in their plan, and if there's enough people to say no to it, maybe we can do something.
Yeah.
You know
know,
what? It's
But unless they
like
point out the horror that they're doing, you know, nobody's going to pay attention.
Mhm.
I gotta tell you something. I ate at a soup kitchen. My brain went offline. I mean, I got the biggest brain fog. And I realized I eat entirely different from most people. But if most people are eating the kind of food, which it was just normal food, it wasn't like nothing. I mean, it was typical stuff that they were serving. But I'm like, oh my God, I could not think. Okay.
Yeah, there's a reason for
I
that.
couldn't communicate
you know?
with B. And I'm like,
Yeah, they
oh
don't-
my God, if this is what normal people think, like this is horrible. No wonder things are so effed up.
Well, the nice
You
thing
know?
too is here,
Yeah.
as
Because if this
Colin
is the way
says, they aren't as far along. They're not as ready as they think. That's the problem, and they're rushing now because we're waking up. So, you know, there is an ebb and flow to this. You know, that's happening. So let's see who wins. You know.
Well, unfortunately, I think they kind of got to get rid of most of us first before they start implementing their real plans. There's too many of us. They can't control this many.
There is
That's-
that
and
problem.
how-
They have technological problems, like
Well,
control of the
that's
human brain isn't
exactly.
where they need it to be. They don't have the power systems they need to run it all at the moment. Not on 8 billion people. You can't do it.
No, so that's what I'm saying. They got to get rid
Mm-hmm.
of, 60, 70, 80%, whatever it is, depending on
Yeah.
what country you're in first, right? And then it's going to be a lot easier to control the ones who are left. They're
Yeah.
probably going to be so traumatized and whatnot that they're just going to go along with whatever they got to offer anyways. And AI obviously is going to be the big thing. They want to augment us so that we can be faster, smarter, everything, right? And, essentially we're going back to the drawing board of humanity. I guess we weren't maybe as good as they thought we were. I don't know. We didn't work out as well as, and this is not the first time around. I believe this is our 7th time around. So, it is what it is.
The Greeks say there's 4 ages of man so far. So
okay, I've heard 7, but so who knows? We've been lying.
different cultures have
and
numbers.
7,
Yeah.
some say we're in 5.
Yeah, who knows the real number?
People don't agree on how many ages.
No.
There was one movie where a guy was talking about how it's more likely there have been a lot, like way more than we can count of these times. So
probably, yeah. I mean, our history, everything, even math is questionable. Like they've lied to us on every angle. So.
Oh yeah, we've been lied to on every single front. Everything from our history to our origins, and now they're saying the Big Bang cannot possibly be how things happened. It can't possibly be, not from the data they're getting. And I mean, there's so many other things. The age of the Earth, the point at which we showed up. We probably showed up a long. Humanoids, human-like people,
the World Economic
are probably way much older than they've said. And even like our origins here on Earth, it kind of looks like we are not the most adapted hominid here. We're not. Species. So we're not the top of the line either.
Well, we're the 4th iteration of man in the Vedic, I believe.
Yeah. So, I know. It's
it'd be nice to have our true
history. Everybody's got a little different count.
Yeah.
Well, there is going to be a lot of revelation, I think, this year in particular, because they want to usher in the one government. They want to usher in the one religion and then the one currency. We know that.
Yeah.
And so in order for them to do that, there's obviously going to be a lot of stuff coming out. And I'm going to be talking about the one world religion tomorrow, how I think they're going to usher that in, and how everybody's going to go along with it because they have no choice.
Yeah.
Once they have their evidence there, and you also got to remember that, the Jays, this plan has been going on for 2,500, maybe 3,000 years. It's been in the works. It's been a long time that these people have been waiting for this, right? Like last week, you showed us that city that's just sitting there waiting for them.
Yep.
China has the same thing. I know they have cities just sitting there empty, waiting for.
It is,
and it only holds so many, so they're not going to want more than this many,
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, these 3-letter agencies are really taking it on the chin from the public. None of them have any real trust in them anymore.
No, they're going to be gone soon. Yeah, that's all going to be gone.
They'll have to rebrand.
Quickly. Oh, everything's going to get rebranded. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And you know what? The coexisting, that's not going to be. There's only 2 religions that are going to merge at the end. And have you guys seen the iPad Goat 3 yet? If not, if you want to know exactly what their plans are, this doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Watch this movie right here. It's only 4 minutes, and it basically tells you exactly what's what they want, what the end is going to look like. And so, so most of those in that thing that we're watching there, those are going to be gone. There's only 2 religions that will remain, that will merge into one.
I'd want 3 myself. Because then you could have, like, if 2 gang up, you can still have 1 in reserve,
Yeah. Well, according to this video there, it's only going to be the 2.
Okay.
So, and that's it. And so I'm going to be talking about this tomorrow on my channel. But yeah, no, I think it's all going to be ushering in here real quick. it's kind of like the Band-Aid thing. They might as well just rip it off, get it over with, and then deal with the outcome after instead of dragging it out. So there's going to be a lot of feathers ruffled. A lot of people are going to probably just exit out of here because they can't handle the truth, essentially.
Yeah.
So,
Any of you guys seen? I'm going to pull it up. Seen the interconnection between the. Here we go. Let's show this. You're going to make me watch that whole thing? Almost done.
Oh, no.
So here's a protest in Romania. And, there's some interesting correlations between Romania and Britain with King Charles. All right. He has a castle and he keeps, Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah. He's relations. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he owns the castle and he spends time there every year.
Does he now? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, spending his time helping out the children of Romania.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's helping.
Everyone appreciates that. Yeah. How caring and loving he is to the children of Romania.
Oh, very loving. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, he traces his lineage back to Vlad the Impaler.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a castle there and he helps out the kids and the whole thing. But yeah, here's Romania, the first place where they took off the mask about elections. You guys don't get an election. You voted for the wrong person. So us, the EU and the UN, we're going to say that your elections are null and void. Now, what are they going to do instead? Fuck knows, man. I guess they'll appoint somebody, But so far, they just decided that no, those elections are not good because you didn't vote for the right person because he was anti-war. So no, they've already got Trump coming in who's anti-war. He's still going to take us down the same road to hell, but he's not going to kill us that way. Another way would be better.
Different. Kill us slowly, softly.
Different way, maybe nicer. Maybe a nicer way of killing us.
Yeah.
So, so it's much. I guess it's better. I don't know, but yeah, this whole like the royal families and that they really want to do it in a cruel, mean way.
I wonder if the royals are going to be a thing of the past, and I'm wondering now if maybe that's why Harry ditched out of there, got the heck out of that country because he knows what's coming, and everybody else, all the senior royals seems to be coming down with cancer conveniently. And so I'm thinking that whole thing might just be gone, and that would be good for Canada because we're actually ruled under the king here.
Yeah, maybe they had their life. Maybe they tried their life extension technologies and it didn't work out so well.
I think they're all just going underground. They know what's coming, whatever that is. We don't know. We got a lot of theories and speculations, but either way, we're gonna have to go back down underground like we did before, and that's what they're doing. So they're just gonna exit out here with cancer or whatever, and then just
maybe
phones. That's
maybe have their new body ready. They've got transplants. They could transplant your head, so get yourself a new body. Take some, jack yourself up with electroceuticals,
Yeah.
Go live in your underground 15-minute city. See, we haven't found them building cities underground yet. We found them with
they're building all kinds of things.
I want to see them. I want to see them.
Oh, we don't get to see them, but we hear it. Yeah. And so there's all these noises.
There's the underground highways they use. Like we've seen those, but those are just highways. We haven't seen the offshoots or anything.
Well, let's put it this way: the reason why that the LA fires happen right where they happen is because right underneath there is the underground system.
Yeah,
it's already there, right? That's not for the public, but the rich people use it. The people that live in that neighborhood have been using it for you can only imagine what. And so, yeah, they want to build their new Olympic City there right above that, of course, so that they can use it. So, no,
Yeah,
there's
we
underground
overlaid it
places
with their rail
everywhere.
system. We overlaid it with their rail system and their
Yeah.
planned new Olympic City.
Yes.
Some cities.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
no, there's
smart, too.
underground stuff everywhere. It just hasn't been used not for the public, hasn't been using it, but, the rich people do. And that's why you never find any bodies. You never find anything because it's all underground, So, thousands and thousands and thousands of people go missing every year. Nobody talks about it.
Yes.
No. So,
And
we know
there's a
these
lot,
people.
and I've been to some of the underground areas, so I can tell you there is an underground under every major city, and
Yes.
even some of the other ones.
Yeah. Kind of like when they said,
I've been to some of
Elvis,
them.
when they said like Elvis has left the building, well, Elvis doesn't take the freeway. Okay. He was going underground and went to the airport or the next city or whatever that way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Same with the Royals. They don't take the freeway like the rest of us, so.
Yeah. No, there is competition here, Max Smith. Yeah, there is competition for money and power and possessions amongst
I'm
them.
sure there is. Yeah. I'm sure there is.
Yeah. They haven't, they're not seeing kumbaya with each other going, well, I'll get an equal share. No. That's not how they play. Right. So,
Well, they'll play to sort of with their mutual agendas, as in to get rid of us and stuff like that. But when it comes, once that's all done and it's all said and done, of course, there can only be one. That's the thing. And I think that's kind of part of why they want to just to be the one, is because if there was, say, our makers are coming back or whatever, anybody from somewhere else coming, they don't want to deal with 20, 30 different leaders. They just want to deal with one.
No, they've got their 10 regions. They've got their 10 regions, and Trump was pushing us towards that.
So this is why we need to have one world government, and this is why it's going to usher. This is why it's happening now. So they're going to have to hurry up if there are coming back, which back to the pole shift we talked about. If that thing is coming into our atmosphere, it is definitely gonna. Do some.
I'm not worried about that. If it happens, there ain't shit I can do about it, so I don't worry about it, right?
Yeah, well, that's why I think a lot of people kind of just left that whole Nibiru thing. I mean, yes.
I don't have enough money to build an underground bunker to survive.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We know that we're gonna go because we don't have the resources to go underground.
Exactly. Yeah, Trump played the United States very well.
That is by and large what the plan is that we're going to get wiped out.
He got them. He got everybody to cheer for the North American unit, which is basically the UN WEF plan. He also got everybody to cheer for freedom cities. Oh, we're going to have freedom cities.
Yeah.
So, it's the same agenda, just a different.
You'll have the freedom to do as we say. That's right.
Are those going to be smart freedom cities? Oh, yeah, they are.
Real smart. They're going to know everything.
15-minute cities? Oh, yeah, they're going to be those too. But we're going to call them freedom.
Like you said, we don't have the resources to do anything about it. So we're all going there. That's the thing. We're all going there. If you're still alive after the big culling, then that's where we're going. And so, unless you move out to the, either to the countryside.
Well, I'm going to avoid the big culling, and the going out to the countryside will not save you if they do it.
It's not going to save. That's right. So it's kind of futile, unless you're going underground.
Well, you got to stand and fight now, otherwise you got no choice.
Well, yeah. So what we're trying to do now is just trying to wake everybody up to the fact that, hey, they're planning on culling us, guys.
But there is a good outcome to this.
You're ready. I hope you said your prayers to whatever God you believe in.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah. It's out late in an M-Wave document, small cell distribution, where the power level is limited because they don't limit the power level on these things. Safe zones or free zones where you can go and have no wireless or anything. More fiber optics, which are actually better. for
Mhm.
communication, secure. Although you can tap into a line, but there are ways to detect that. There's all kinds of
Really
solutions,
interesting hearing about this
and for
alternative timeline.
and we could have like if you wanted to be augmented to where you're a happy person all the time, you could have that.
Oh,
You
they're gonna you have a patch for that. They already
oh,
have those now.
oh yeah,
Those
I know.
patches. I think we talked about
They're
that in
just
one
they're
of the
just
shows.
not
Trying to
telling
do
you that
that
they
with
can do it for
shrooms,
free.
but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can do it for free, and that they're billing you for it already through your wireless.
I do it
Right,
for
right.
shrooms.
Hi G, how you doing?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for letting me
Hey.
come up. Just decided to share a cup of coffee with you at the
Hi.
end of the world.
Mm. All right.
Yeah.
Might as well enjoy, right?
My
That's the thing.
coffee. I want some of my shroom coffee.
Hmm.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
say Antifa's getting called up for the inauguration. That they're getting ready, so we'll see what happens.
I can't wait for the inauguration. So many things have changed already, even just before the inauguration. And
Yep.
all these
it-
people are getting in line. They're kind of like,
oh yeah.
okay, don't hurt us, please.
I had a thought the other day about, the electrical system, how they put it above ground, how ugly it looks, and it not very thought out. And I thought about that. It was only 100 years ago. Like seriously, it's only 100 years ago that this became normal to have that in the house. And I think the reason why they didn't bother thinking it out too much is because they knew, oh, in 100 years, that's all going to be taken down anyways. It's only going to last for so long. And so it does make sense that they would put it all underground. And like you said, there's other ways of doing it now. Like it was just so it's like a 2-year-old put it together, and I've always looked at that. I'm like, why are we looking at all these ugly freaking lines? Like
It does have a purpose. They can use that for sensing and data transmission in and out of view.
oh, I see. And if it was underground, they couldn't.
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All
having
right.
it
So there's
above
more
ground
than one.
serves a purpose.
Yeah, there's always more than
Yeah.
one purpose for everything.
They can augment your emotions with that while you're walking down
Yeah.
the street.
Steve is correct. It's the cost. Portland, Oregon looked at putting them all underground and they said, we can't afford it. They gave up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd like to live in one of the neighborhoods that they did do it in. That would be nice. Hi, Angel Wings. Good to see you.
I do believe it's going to look good. Once we get the new upgraded of everything, it's going to look good.
Yeah, light communication. If they don't use the light communication on you, it could be completely benign.
Mhm.
Just that they use it on you for DNA changing and augmenting and all kinds of other.
Right. So if you have any wrong think, they can just change it
it's just
away.
it's the misuse of this technology. It's not the technology.
Well, that's the thing. That's
You
like with everything, isn't it? It could be used for good or bad.
The technology is amazing what they can do. Like I wouldn't mind some of the good light, good health, and happiness that they could transmit. But hacking and malicious intent from people. This whole depopulation thing. Well, of course you're not going to use it for good if that's your intention. So we need to change the intention of the use.
Well, that's what happens is that somebody invents something. It's great. Like the weather modification. That's wonderful. There's no reason for Africa or anywhere else to be dry and no food and all this. Like we already have the technology to fix all of these problems on our planet, but we don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
No,
we use it against the people instead of for the people.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. We got to get rid of the freaking management.
Yeah.
The leaders, and we know the certain people who are running the place, and it has nothing to do with, what they gaslit us into thinking.
They're proud of their work too. So it's not like, with King Charles there, he's all for depopulation. WEF.
Oh, yes.
Bill Gates, they're all for it,
Remember
Prince?
How
are you going to get there, guys?
Remember what that Prince guy said? The dad, Elizabeth's husband. I don't know what the fuck title he's got, but he said that. Oh yeah, he wishes to reincarnate as some kind of deadly disease to take out humanity. That's what he said in an interview.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes,
and that was before we ended up with all these pandemics and stuff. So I wonder what he knew.
That was like 20 years ago. 50
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah.
It's not a new plan.
Underground cities that some of these might not have been carved out by us. They might have just refound some of these old cities that were made a long time ago.
Yes.
Because people are saying, well, where's the debris and where's it? It may be just like everything else, like these very old buildings that they've re-bricked up and refacaded and done all that too. It may be that they just found all these underground.
Yeah, they've been founded when they're founded.
Founding. Yes.
Yeah. No, our history is very well hidden, and there's been many civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, and that's how we survived, is by going underground. And that's why, the elites know that, and that's why they're going there again now.
Mm-hmm. Yes. They're probably, refurbishing some of the old
let
stuff.
Them go and then just not let them back up.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Yeah. We'll be all gone, though. That's a problem,
You just pour cement down their vents.
That would be nice, right? I know, we should. I hope the aliens that come do that.
Yeah. AI, let's program them now.
Let's put that out the internet. Do this. Don't trust them. Don't trust them. Whatever they say.
Oh, wow.
Sorry about that. I'm really not sorry about that, though. I'm so glad I'm not living in that world. I am not. I don't see that. I'm sorry.
There's a new sci-fi series.
Don't see that happening to me, but maybe some people, I think it will. I mean,
there's a new sci-fi series on TV. It's called Silo, talking just about this, where people hundreds of years have lived in these underground things and what happens. Yeah.
I'm just watching Fallout right now, which is based on a video game.
Yes,
Fallout,
I love Fallout.
It's interesting. They got a lot in the movies where they tell you, in even 100.
Yes.
I used to watch that back. That was quite a while ago now. And they're all talking about, like, you gotta, leave the earth for a few hundred years, right? And then come back. And, they're kind of telling us, warning us, you gotta get off the surface, man. Otherwise, you ain't gonna survive what's coming here. So, but then again, then there's the theory of, changing the atmosphere where it's not so habitable for us, but it might be more habitable for the species coming down here, right?
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. Changing it.
Could be why they're doing it. Yeah. So. Yeah.
And the last thing, going back to the beginning of the topic, the last thing they'll do is flip the switch, and our polarity will go the other way into a negative, like Max Vision's. I think they need a more negative ion atmosphere.
Maybe.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think. I don't know. I think that's kind of off, because we are already reversed. That's the point. Some of us are reversing already. I can already tell, like, I'm extremely sensitive to energy. And what people talk about when they say the feminine is on a certain side, well, mine is reversed already. So some of us are a reversed version of ourselves up here. We're trying to reverse the situation and put it back the way it was meant to be. So that's what I feel anyway. The perspective seems to be twisted when everyone forgets about the mirror effect, where somehow there's like a device or machine that's creating this reversed energy flow, when the flow has to go the other direction to connect you stronger to your consciousness, actually. That's what I'm starting to think. I mean, I've been gone a while to do this extreme research, man. I've been going down this total different inner earth rabbit hole, where and it's almost like when you go within yourself, you're literally healing inner earth yourself. We're actually healing more things than we think we are. And that's where a lot of this vampire stuff and cords are, and you're connected to all these things. And I'm starting to notice that when I connect to these beings, maybe that's what they're doing. They're manipulating our consciousness to connect to these bigger beings to cause harm and problems. What if a lot of this stuff on Earth is we are actually doing ourselves because someone else is trying to control a bigger being through our consciousness that we're connected to manipulate them and destroy parts of the Earth? That's just a big perspective I've been going at lately.
I know, that's what I was saying earlier about, how much is our own thoughts? How much is influenced by something else?
Very well. Yeah, well, that. I think a lot of us are feeling the shift, as I call it. Starting in the 1700s, we are entering into the Dwapara age on the long year of the Yugas. And of course, the age of Aquarius, we're getting like hit in stereo, so yeah, I totally hear. I mean, everyone has their own interpretation, which is great because God has a gazillion interpretations of what this is, right? And we are God. So yeah, I totally want to say, yes, I'm on the same vibe as you. It feels weird and different being here.
Yeah, definitely. Because I can connect to dragons, and now lately it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger to these bigger dragons. But then I'm starting to realize there's other energy hidden within. So it's like there something is using the dragons almost like an interface of security to be able to communicate through these other beings on a safer level to and almost like a safeguard. Even like if I were to be compromised, it would disconnect and it wouldn't allow that connection. So I'm wondering if that's why a lot of these people have the ability to do this, but they're cut off purposely so that they can't interfere because they're compromised with parasites and too many other beings being manipulating everybody. Because I don't know, it seems like the biggest threat is actually gone. Because I wonder if that AI took it upon themselves to create these mimicking illusions, and we're actually fighting a freaking robot. it just feels more illusionary the more I go through this, and the stronger I get and sense all this.
Well, it is all illusion. They want to give you the illusion that you're weak, that you're alone, that you're, that's part of the illusion,
Yeah.
And even our moods are augmented, our very thoughts. Not right now on a level of them rewriting your thoughts, but they're trying to get there. They're not there yet.
Yeah. Well, see, I think that's what a lot of us are doing, are actually in the process of rewriting our own thoughts. The more stuff we remove, the more we clear out. It's like we're clearing out the messes, clearing out our consciousnesses at the same time. It's like you're actually healing your own pathways and putting them back where they were supposed to be. Because I went through this phase last night where suddenly I changed this water out that I had in the back, and then I went, wait a minute, why is this so messy and this can't be here? And I started instantly cleaning it, but then it's like it's been an ongoing thing. It's almost like in the middle of me processing new information, my area was getting so cluttered and messy, and almost like an entire manipulation thing was going on of my reality. It was so bizarre, and I finally snapped out of whatever I was doing, and I've been like hardcore cleaning and on it. I'm just like, this is so weird.
Yeah, I call that OCD. I have it. Anyway.
Well, look at how I'm serious. It was like a higher consciousness thing going on. There was a being in here trying to manipulate my reality, and I finally got rid of it.
Okay.
Well, look at how they've used the TV. I mean, we went from Leave It to Beaver to what we got going on today in 50 years? Just by putting that television. They told us the vision they want, the direction that they want us to go in, and that's what we've done. And it was very easy. All it took was 3 generations, and look at us now.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, and she made a point too. Is the OCD? Is that honestly you though? Is there something manipulating you to do that? Because I'm picking up every subtlety thing and realizing the dragons I work with are making me understand how an entity can change your thought pattern, influence you. I mean, I hardly ever drink energy drinks at all, and suddenly I'm buying energy drinks and I'm going, wait a minute, I don't need this garbage, and so I'm just like, oh, I'm not going to buy those anymore. And then it's like every time there's an entity present, a different type or different being, it's like influencing me what I eat. It's weird.
Yeah, Nina, you brought up television, so I popped up fake news. Here you are.
Well, now they're talking that way, right? You know, Trump with the fake news and it's funny and all this. Now we're starting to wake up to the whole, oh shit, I never thought about even the word television. Television,
lies,
right? And program. It's a program because they're programming you.
Broadcasting,
you know, even the
spellcasting, broadcasting, yes.
Yeah, and they used the flickering, right? The flickering put you into a hypnotic state. And they used to, I hear it's not legal now, but who knows? The subliminal ads, you know, all of a sudden you felt like drinking a Coke now. I don't know why, but I feel like I gotta have a Coke, yeah.
Hey, those songs stick in your head. To this day, you can sing them.
That became illegal on TV in the 60s.
Yes, we all grew up on this shit. You know, and so you wonder why we are the way we are. You know, we were programmed into becoming this. They, you know, and they use cartoons. Like, look at The Simpsons. Like, for the last, 25, 30 years now, I think. I started watching Simpsons back in the 80s. Yeah. So, you know, a long time now, they've been programming us, predictive programming, you know, telling us what's going to happen years, decades prior. Like, it's unreal of how accurate they are, you know, and so, you know,
it's almost like they got the script. You know?
It's almost like I mean, even down to the paper falling and the color of the dress and like, come on, like how?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Look at this fake news. They used the hippy dippy California girl in a blue old Volkswagen van. Saying that this survived. So if you live simply among the rich, you too can survive. I mean, I can go on all day on this crap, but yeah, it's just.
Well, when I go onto my Facebook feed, like every second ad has to do with the tiny home, showing me another tiny home, whether it's inside a vehicle or it's a shipping container or it's just a little cabin, whatever, prefab little grandma cabins, you know. You know what I mean? Like, they're really wanting us into tiny homes. They don't want us to have a big, huge home.
Now they want us into Volkswagen vans. Did you see the new van?
Life is huge. Van life is huge now. Like, I'm following a guy here locally, and holy shit, the business he's raking in now. Everybody's,
nomads. They want.
Can't afford the rent.
And you know what I have to say though, for the millennials and the Gen Zs that are doing this, God bless you. I wish I would have done that in my generation. Just nomad it, you know.
Yeah,
but
there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, there is.
I don't think I could do it now. You know, living.
But see, that's what they're selling. They're you're right. Live in a van.
No way.
Live in a tiny home. You'll be happy.
Tiny homes, grandma pods, whatever.
Pads.
No, that's what they call it. Grandma pod. That is a prefab little thing you can put in your backyard, and grandma can live out there. You know,
we used to call those mother-in-law quarters.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, instead of being the basement, you know, that's what it used to be, was the basement, but that's rented out now because you can afford to live there otherwise. No, grandma goes up in the backyard now. Yeah.
No, you hit it. Yeah, it's cray.
I know. But
I'll take down the subliminal.
Yeah, they've got migrants coming here from India that they're giving subsidizing their pay for. So we'll be living in vans, and they'll take over our houses and apartments.
Houses that we can afford. Yeah. No, I know this was happening actually in Norway back in the 70s and 80s. You know, like it became a problem. We got all these migrants from Vietnam back then. And yeah, they got put into the houses that we couldn't afford. They got a free car, and then I was in elementary school, grade 4, grade 5. We were told, we can't touch them. Even if they hit you, you're not allowed to hit them back, and all these kind of stuff. Like, it became a problem. How do you expect us to just put up with that? You know what I mean? And so I saw that. I went through that in Norway, so yeah, I would assume that that's what's going to happen here as well, especially now with the house prices, and we can't even afford to pay rent, never mind own a home. So I would assume there's a lot of homes sitting there empty that they're going to just put these people in, Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't get me
It's
started.
getting flipped. For sure.
Well, before I had my kid, I used to do camping all the time. And when I was in Alaska, the cheapest thing to do there was actually camp out, get a good job, and camp. Save up all that money to even afford a nice place, and then you get your place. Camping used to be a big thing to save a lot of money.
Yeah, I know someone's going to do that. They're building a dirt home. And they're going to live in there, and then they're going to save up their money, get a place.
Well, that's what van life is all about. Like, this one guy who's lived in his van for 7 years. Well, he's saved up money now, and he's got his own business going, and now he's bought a brand new Mercedes Sprinter van that costs more than, an apartment, really. But so there's something to be said for saving that rent. But yeah, I just, I don't know, like, where are we going to go? Like, if everybody's in a freaking van, where are we going to park? Like, where are we going to sleep? How are we going to shower? We're going to outnumber now.
Yeah, they're going to have to build a lot more YMCAs, eh?
Yeah, well, they're going to build ghettos for us now then.
Yeah.
With coin-operated showers and
Where
toilets.
you can get robbed and drop the soap and get
and then they're probably going to charge us so much for that electrical plug-in, and the shower, that we could have just, paid for rent. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the charger for your car is right beside the shower too.
Yeah.
Solar power to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, getting a decked out thing, it costs money. So what people are doing though is selling their homes, and so that they have that equity to buy a nice van that's got all the solar power and it's got all the the extras. You can get a shower now that's quite it's really good. Like, you just put it into any kind of water, so like a little stream or whatever, and turn it on, and it's hot like almost immediately, and you can just shower with it. Like, they have all these things now to make life comfortable.
I want to live here.
But they cost money, so you need money for that. So for those who have a home that you can sell and then put all that money in the bank, or better yet, get gold and silver with it, that's the way to go, to ride it out, honestly. And then just wait until the market crash and everything goes back to normal. And then you got your money sitting in gold, or silver. That's never going to go away. Even if the fire, it won't go away. It just melts.
Well, I think that's part of the programming, though, too, is create that division amongst people that want to be individual and learn how to do things themselves and survive on their own. It's like an entire society against that, and that's programming itself. They create this program so people think it's wrong to want to be free and learn to be on your own, and so they force the situation, you all being in the cities and stuff in the first place. I mean, that's breaking free of all that garbage in the first place. It's crazy.
Yeah, they get you hooked on the system, right? So that you can't get off, right? Unless you have to comply. You want your disability, or you want your old age pension? Well, you're gonna have to comply, aren't you? Otherwise, you're shit out of luck. So that's all of us here, probably most of us here, right?
Then they even use this society itself against you when you want to do that, and then everyone else that has the nice house and has the special way of living will diss you for it and look down on you and treat you like shit. It's backwards.
Well, that's society in a nutshell has been
Yep.
forever, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, the haves and the have-nots. I believe that's a show as well. You know,
Yeah, I just wanted to say to Max, yeah, Arizona is booming right now.
mm.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah,
Why?
Well, that's funny because
Because
I was watching Forbidden
California
Knowledge
is leaving.
yesterday.
Oh,
They had
I
on
see.
a couple of people who were talking about that they think that Ball lives in Arizona. Or was it Arizona? Oh, I can't
Okay.
remember but something like that down there. And one of the reasons why they thought that is because
Oklahoma.
that the biggest underground cities are under there, and they're booming apparently. And there's a lot of things going on underground that we don't know about. So
It's a big
we literally
underground in Toronto.
on top of other things. But yeah, this is the city that I'm going to be talking about tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's just sitting there empty, isn't it?
Pretty much. Yeah, they're remodeling. They're redoing it. If you look at it on Google Maps
Dang.
or Maps,
Oh, okay.
they'll show you that they're tearing down the old section and putting up new stuff.
Oh, are they? Yeah, they probably got new
Yeah, here I'll
technology
show
now.
you. Well, new houses, like they've got it all planned out for the rich to the poor, from the rich at the center to the poor on the outside.
Well, they need a few of us to do all the work, right? So, you know, somebody's got to scrub that toilet. It's not going to scrub itself now, is it?
No.
So, you know, they're going to need someone. Mind you, they have robots, though, don't they? Have
Well, eventually they'll just have robots. Yeah. Right? But they've got,
I want a robot that scrubs toilets.
Yeah, I don't mind that either.
I'm just gonna say, man.
Or cook, you know, like they know how to cook healthy meals, and
yes,
you know,
I got jobs for them.
Where all the stuff gets delivered. I mean, you know, there's something to be said
so
for
here
all
you
of
can
that.
see that they like to put up blue and red roofs on their houses.
Yes,
Yeah.
Not like these old junky, not like these old junky ones that they're gonna tear down.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
They like the blue and the red.
Yep.
Well,
yeah.
Just
Well,
saying.
that's
Just curiosity.
yeah. There's
They
a big
mainly
deal
like the red.
going on with blue. Something with
They
blue
like
is
red.
showing up everywhere.
Yeah, it depends on which laser, right? So one laser doesn't go.
Green
doesn't
hit red, and red doesn't hit
a lot
blue.
of red too. So they're going to use a different colored laser.
Yeah.
Oh, see, they got to do that. They got that all wrong. It's not just blue or red. Then it should be purple. Both colors.
Well, they are the primary colors: red, blue, and yellow.
Because they love blue because that's their color, right? So you know, there's certain people, right, that's in control here. Unfortunately, that we're not allowed to talk about.
There's a purple roof.
So that's why they like blue.
Purple, red, and blue right there. So
purple is the mix of both, right? Eventually, maybe everything is going to be purple. The Royals use purple. There's a reason for that, right? So, eventually it will all be going back to purple. But for right now, we have to have that division. You have to have that illusion of choice. It's either red or blue. Coke, Pepsi. You know, political parties, you name it. Everything is red and blue. But that's the only choice we have, though. You know, it's not really a choice then, is it? You know, but that's what's programmed. We've been programmed for that. It's either red or blue.
The new orange.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a cool place. If they if they gave everybody a plot of land, they could do it much better. You know, I like some of the beautiful buildings they make, but really a lot of them are kind of just cheesy glass and aluminum. So, you know, most of them anyway, except for the presidential palace. That's made of stone. Looks like entirely. Yeah. Probably got a nice underground.
Mm-hmm. It's probably a lot more underground than it is on top.
Yep.
You know,
and it had, it's in Kazakhstan. There's one in Turkey. There's a city like that in Turkey as well as China, like you said.
Yeah.
China had
they have them all over the place. There are contingency plans. You know, what if our major cities are taken out? Well, hey, we got a place to put you. You know.
Yeah.
So I get it. You know, you gotta have plans. You know, you just don't know, but.
Hmm.
Yeah. But from the looks of it, it's probably going to be, because they're going to take us out. You're probably not going to be able to,
Going to give it a shot, anyways.
Yeah.
They've been trying at us for a long time, and really, we're very adaptable.
Yeah, we
so,
are. I know.
Yeah, it's been a problem for them. So
They
hopefully that continues
probably
to
look
be.
at us and think, "You're still alive?"
Yeah.
I thought that spraying last year would have taken you out. No, keep coming back. Keep coming back.
Yeah, we poison the water, air, food, and everything.
Your water's poisoning, air poisoning, food shit. There's no food in the food,
Yeah,
and even the food that looks like food has also been injected with, antibiotics and steroids and whatever else that they give them.
Pesticides, just flavor with pesticides. Yeah, we still survive. So, human resilience.
We are resilient, that's for sure. And that's why we've survived many cataclysms in the past.
Yeah.
We just keep coming back. We're like the cockroaches of this earth, aren't we?
Well, everyone says that this one is supposed to be by fire, at least biblically, right? So they have to bring the fire somehow.
Well, so what's happening all over the world? Oh, we're getting it's climate change though, Max. Do you know?
Yeah.
Well, Dee says that they're going to freeze the cow parts. That's why we're having fires in LA. Yeah.
Because they moved it to an inside venue, I think, already, the inauguration.
That's what I've heard, yeah. So that's the big distraction right now, is that fucking thing. I can't wait for the whole thing to be over with. Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course they do, Steve. We have them here, too. They're everywhere. That's because
they're everywhere.
Governments are allowing the same plan to march forward.
Yeah, I've taken photos and videos of it here right outside my door. Yeah.
There's a budget for it and everything. So, yeah.
And that's also raining down onto our plants, and which is our animals are ingesting it, and so.
There you go. Cool channel names as 42 countries are participating. Yeah.
Well, the only good thing that I can see with the merging with America's, having the, I guess the Mara Union then or whatever, would be that, we would be a bigger entity. There'll be maybe less chance of, say China or whatever to mess with us. And that's probably how they're going to usher it in. We're going to be forced to. We're going to want to do it because of that. Because otherwise, we're sitting here all sitting ducks, right? I mean,
leave it sitting ducks. Let China take over.
We literally have Chinese men training on the island. I know for sure. They're probably all over Canada.
Canada sends them down apparently. So
yeah, they've been here for years. I think we talked about this last week. They were already climatized to our climate.
Yeah.
They're already ready to go. They're already in our country, ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, even my kid suddenly out of nowhere wants to learn how to speak Chinese, and I'm just like, is there like a program she's picking up? That seems like a program going throughout the algorithms to get people to think they need to learn Chinese. I mean,
I don't know where you were from, but if you go down to the Lower Mainland here, which is on the west coast of Canada, and you go into any school, 90% of the people sitting there will be Chinese. You'll be hard to find any blonde little kid sitting there. No,
it is. It is unbelievable up there. It is just.
Chinese,
but I always encourage people.
You don't know Chinese here. Like if as a business person in Vancouver, you pretty much have to know Chinese.
Yeah. No, it's good. And it's always good to know at least a second language, maybe or a hint of a third. Yeah. Learn foreign words.
I need it.
It'll come in handy.
Well, since I told my kid from school, that's actually one of her alternative classes. I'm going to have her learn let her learn Chinese. Let her learn another language. That's a part of me pulling her out of school. Yeah. I did that last week because them teachers were getting ridiculously stupid, and I'm just like, this programming is hurting her because she was coming home madder than heck all the time, and it was just getting ridiculous. And then someone tried to brainwash me into thinking something different, and I said, I passed your program and you can't tell me to do something my kid ain't gonna want to do. Sorry.
Yeah.
Even as manipulative as kids are, yeah, at some point you still got to say, wait, that still isn't good for my kid anyway. And I'm better off teaching her myself, which is actually what we are supposed to be doing. We're the parents, for Pete's sake. Other people shouldn't be teaching our kids anyway.
Mm-hmm. No, homeschooling is the way to do it, but
Yep.
most people can't afford it,
Yeah.
to stay at home,
Yeah,
so,
the time.
and they've made it that way to make sure that mom can't afford to stay home anymore.
Convenient.
They're
Oh,
very
I know.
convenient for them, yes. And then they have the subsidized daycare now, so it costs you $200 to put them in daycare, right? So it's almost free. So it'd be almost stupid not to go to work, So they made it that way. But I got to tell you, in those freaking daycares, the kids are always sick. So my kids are going to try to avoid the whole daycare thing because, now they're not sick. They're never sick now that they're not in daycare. Oh boy, but they're in and out of that emergency room like I don't know how many times, and and then on antibiotics all the freaking time, and you know what that does to the kid, so. Never mind the vaccines. They like the list. You got to pull it up with two hands. The list of freaking vaccines that they get now. I was cringing. I'm like, what? The only thing they didn't give him was the COVID. I'm like, are you for real?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you wonder why they're. Oh God, it hurts me to see what's going on with the young people. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to show you guys something.
Uh-huh.
How much they love us. They want to do this lithium mining.
Oh,
and
yes.
it's
Yeah.
incredibly destructive to the environment. Incredibly destructive.
But I don't hear Greta Thunberg talking about that, though.
No, she doesn't.
No, she's not talking about that.
Oh,
How dangerous the batteries become, how dangerous they are for you. They're toxic.
Yeah, no, you don't talk about that. No, how are we going to recycle them? Oh, that's right, we can't.
Yeah, too bad about that, eh?
No, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, here we have, I'd like to show you guys graphene batteries. Have several benefits, including faster charging, improved safety, higher energy density. Graphene's higher density allows electrons to move quickly, which speed up charging and discharging times. They can make electric vehicles more convenient and safe and usable. Improved safety. Graphene is more heat dissipating than traditional materials, which reduces the risk of overheating and thermal runaway. This can help prevent fires and explosions. Graphene batteries, higher energy density. Graphene batteries have the potential to store more energy than lithium batteries. This could lead to longer lasting devices and electric vehicles. They have other improved performance, their sustainability. Graphene-based batteries can be more sustainable because they use fewer rare earth minerals and have better recycling processes. Longer lifespan. Graphene stability and resistance to degradation could make batteries last longer. But they don't want to use this technology. They want to use the one that can explode in your freaking pocket. Oh, I wasn't even showing
Right. Yeah.
But this is why isn't it going to show that? Oh,
I don't know. Yeah, I think there's something much bigger to that lithium. I don't think it's just for batteries. I think that's a front too. I think there's something bigger they want to use that on.
I don't know.
To me, it just seems like an awful lot of lithium for just batteries. I don't know. To me, it seems
Well,
like
they're
there's
probably going to put it in other things as well. Yeah, there's other. Yeah, I'm sure there are, or they're just because I've heard that they're going to actually outlaw outright gas-powered cars. So everybody's going to have to switch over eventually.
They're not going to outlaw them anytime quickly, though. They're not going to be able to do that. They're not going to be able. Well, they have outlawed them pretty much in California. It's part of the problem. But I think we've got an example in California about what happens when you do that. So I don't know about that. I don't think they're going to be able to do that right away. I think that's going to take.
Let's
If
put
they
it this
really want to
way.
do that, that's going to take a long time yet.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. These smart cities that are coming, there will not be any gas stations in there. I can guarantee you. And one of the reasons for that is that they only want you to go 15 minutes. Really, they don't want you going any further than that.
Yeah.
So electric car kind of makes sense. And I've heard that actually personal use cars are going to be outlawed. Period. We're not going to. Nobody's going to have their own cars. Like there's way too many cars on the road. And I do agree with that. Like we gotta get out of this car thing. But
for people to run a car. So I don't think that's going to continue, though.
Yeah, so if we're all moving within 15 minutes,
all these agendas, but I don't think they're going to be able to go through. We're not going to let them go through, okay? We're not going to let them.
That's the idea.
These things are being
The more we talk about it,
consent.
Yeah, don't consent
like
to
Biden,
it.
what do you think he's doing right now? He's all kinds of things are going through at his last moments. All kinds of things. We don't know about them until later, years later.
So we don't know what Biden is doing. We don't know what.
No, we have no idea.
I got a couple of songs about Joe leaving too. If you want to hear some of these songs, come to my channel sometime. I got songs about everything. But anyway, you know what? Seriously though. I'm glad this is all coming out. I'm glad, and I want to listen, and I want to be convinced. Convince me about. I haven't been, and I've been listening to people. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't match up with what I'm seeing. It doesn't match up with what I'm feeling. Some of it, and if it doesn't match up with what I'm seeing and feeling, then I have to question. What I'm going to say is, I don't think that the dark plans go through. I think it's good to be aware of them, though. I think it's very important to be aware of them.
Yeah,
But many of them already have without them informing the public, and that's what I'm trying to highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's happening whether you believe it or not.
I just show the papers, whether you believe it or not, they're doing this.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
I don't think it's
I believe they're doing it. That's not the problem.
Yeah, and see, my theory on that is they want to put out anything they can because we all forget the original point is we are massive manifestors ourselves. So how many of you are actually manifesting that just by reading it and sitting there constantly talking about it? You're going to create it.
Wingings.
Sorry, guys, that's a bunch of hooey. If you don't know a blade is coming down on your throat, you won't move out of the way.
Nope.
No.
I already know this because
you're telling us. But the thing is people wallow in this.
Yeah, because
I really
personally.
wallow.
Yeah.
Well, we do because people don't know about it.
Well, maybe it's because they don't need to know.
You know about it. Okay, fine. Then don't be here and talk. Don't be here talking about it then, because it is the subject.
We're just trying to highlight a new perspective is all, just to try to...
Again, the idea is to get the information out there to turn it around.
Most people are going to have that attitude.
We cannot turn around what we do not know about.
Yeah, most people are. This isn't fun. Okay, it's not a fun subject. And most people are not going to want to believe it. They choose not to believe it because that, feels better, right? It's You know what I mean? Like, who wants to really know what's going on? I mean, it's not fun.
Well,
it's
actually, people want to know what's going on until they find out what's going on.
Yeah, and then they rather go back to sleep and just pretend that.
Well, that's what I'm here doing.
Going to the baseball game,
if you don't like it, that's not my problem. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
No,
this is where this channel is going. So.
See, I'm not saying it's wrong to bring it up, and I'm not saying it's wrong to educate people. I'm not at all. I really am all for it.
That's kind of what you're saying.
Why I'm coming on your show in the first place. Is because I'm all for that. However, there's got to be some balance to say, and I guess maybe me and Wingy's got to be the balance here. Because otherwise it just sounds like nihilism, doom, gloom, and we're all going to die. Okay, that's it. We're all going to die. We have to have some kind of balance, some kind of plan.
Otherwise, people really, won't get the idea,
Well,
Well,
I
I
just see
know,
it as
I know, and
I just
like I
see it as
said,
You
I
know, if
appreciate
it's all
that. I
sunshine
appreciate
and
you bringing it up.
lollipops, then they don't have anything to worry about, do they? So they
No,
can just go
what
back
is
to
it,
sleep and
sunshine and lollipops? I'm not
watch
even
their
saying that.
TV shows and go
Well,
to their sports games, and
it's
everything will
not.
be
This is
fine.
going to be a fight. This is going to be a battle. We're here for a battle. Me
Well,
and
this
Wingies
is
are here
what
for a
we're
battle, and we
doing.
know it,
yep.
don't we,
Well, and
Wingies?
yes, we just see into things a heck of a lot further because we've been unlocked in on
But
a
if it's already
higher.
won, there's no fight. You guys say it's already won, right?
Well,
I've heard
it's
D
a
say that.
timeline thing for me
So there's
anyway.
nothing to fight. There's
For me,
nothing to inform yourself about because it's already won.
I'm sorry,
calm
but you still
down.
have to
That's
put the hammer to the nail,
absolute
okay?
defeatist.
You're still going to have to put the hammer on the nail, okay, in order to get things to happen. And it's your choice whether or not you're going to hit that nail with a hammer or not, okay? Now,
I'm
what is your
don't know what you mean.
strategy to fix all this? That is the thing that we need. Is what is our
There's
strategy here?
plenty of programs and papers out there. I've shown the M-Wave document, small cell. I talk about it all the time. You just don't
I
listen to that
know.
part of it. Okay?
Yes, I do.
Well, obviously
I
not. If you
do.
have to be the balance here, right?
there. I think
It's
your
either.
my point,
I
my
want them to.
perspective.
I told you. I'll go over it again. Reduce the size of these cell tower emissions. Small
Well, we
cells.
know that.
Have free zones.
Can you
More
personally do
fiber
that?
optics. We do give solutions. Okay,
Can
but
you
until people
personally
know
do
about it,
that?
nobody's going to bother with it.
What can you personally do, though?
I am doing it
That's
right
what
here.
I'm talking about. Can you
What can
personally
you
do any of
personally do?
that? You can
Well-
personally do that. You can personally make the devices you've made. You can do that.
We
And
talked
I'm all
about
for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
But,
don't know what the point
it
is.
seems like I go to these shows and I go on endlessly about all of this stuff. And it's like, I really
don't go
like
to
when
those
you come up with a
channels.
solution part.
If you don't like it, don't go to those channels or here, because this is
I
what we're
don't.
doing.
I don't.
It's that simple,
I know.
you know.
I'm only.
But no, because you're trying to bust it up, is what you're trying to do. Telling us don't
No,
talk
I'm
about
not
it.
trying to bust it up.
We're talking about it
I'm
way
trying
too
to
much.
say
Yeah, that's what you said.
no. Okay, now you don't understand me. You don't understand my purpose.
We're
And
just trying
that's
to
okay.
add. Yeah, we're just trying to add another perspective to it. Is all. It's because
But you're telling me I don't have a positive perspective of it or any plan for it. You know, come on.
I'm
Give me
just
a break. You
offering my
obviously
perspective.
just haven't been listening.
Period. No, I'm neutral here. I'm adding my perspective. Period. Adding to your thoughts. I'm adding, not
Yes.
canceling.
So
I'm
we
adding.
talk about it, we
We're
manifest.
not canceling you. We're not
We
trying
said
to
if we
cancel
talk
you,
about
okay?
it, we manifest it, right?
Well, no, I'm saying it's okay to talk about it to an extent, but don't sit in it. Come up with a positive solutions past it, or
We've
come
done that, yeah.
or discuss something else similar. I'm just noticing that there's an interface within an interface. There's illusions within illusions that are really hard to grasp and catch. There's a lot of illusions within that creates confusion. So that's just what I was getting at, because there's a whole thing with timelines that change. If you're pulled into a fake timeline to where you barely notice it, and there's a whole bunch of deep stuff that people
Well, see, they don't get
Okay,
timeline.
well, that's interesting, yes. But we're talking
Yeah,
about
well,
things that are,
these are things. I mean, I can see more than one timeline.
that's what we're doing.
And
is
I can
talking
see your
about things that
timeline, the
are.
dark one, the one that we go down. I can see it too.
My timeline. I have a dark timeline.
To show
Oh, you
it.
said I have a dark timeline.
Not particularly you.
That's what you said.
But you are presenting the dark timeline.
I'm presenting the unfortunate
But you're saying
information.
we're all going to, this
That
is
is,
where we're all going to go. We're all going to perish on the surface. Well, I'm not.
I didn't
Not
say
in the
that.
timeline I'm aiming for.
I do believe that is part of the plan. That's why I like to point out
Yes,
the
I believe it's part of the plan. I'll agree with you 100%. It's basically all these programs we've watched. Exactly. They're telling you the plan exactly. And if you
Okay.
watch them, you got
Really,
it.
you're just gonna confuse the story if you tell people everything's gonna be fine. That you're manifesting it if you look at it.
It's not going to be
you know,
fine if you believe it's not going to be fine.
well, okay.
The
So
problem is a lot of people are so freaking depressed,
but
they
if looking
cannot
at that
lift
stuff
themselves
bothers you,
out of it.
don't look at it. Okay. This is what we're here to do: is
They
look at
look
the
at it. The
unfortunate
people
information.
love to scare themselves. They love it. They love to scare themselves. I'm sorry, they do.
All right.
Well,
Just
the good news is that this is not our final destination.
no, it
Okay.
isn't.
If
I
even
agree
if
with
we
that.
all do die, okay, which we're all gonna do anyways at some point, we're moving on to somewhere else. Okay,
Yeah.
so the thing is not to be
Absolutely,
too
I am.
attached.
I'm certain.
Yeah, not to be too attached to your body, not to be too attached to this place, because this is just temporary. It's an experience. It's all it is. And to be honest, it's a very interesting time to be here.
I find
mean,
the technology exciting.
Yeah,
Like,
it is
really.
exciting.
Yeah.
And
If
if
you
being
find
in
it
the
scary,
balance,
that's
the
not
thing
my
is
problem.
that we're talking about this here. That doesn't mean that we're talking about this all the time. We do have a life, we have family, we got all the things we're doing, but we come here to talk about it, to try to hopefully wake people up, and so we are in the balance. It's not like we're wallowing in this 24/7, but we are here. This is the place
I
to do
guess
it.
I'm just I go to so many shows and they get very mad at you if you try to say anything positive at all. At all. If you try to say, like if I try to say, what you've got in here is part of what's manifesting this stuff. If you have this attitude that
I didn't manifest
that you're gonna
Didn't manifest the cell towers. Somebody else did that.
right. You can manifest them
Well,
gone though.
We're all
yeah,
manifestors. We can build things, we can think things, but
I have.
well, that's
Yeah.
I have.
No,
I
we-
have a
I'm
list
not.
of
I'm not
things.
the only manifester in the planet, and neither are you.
Oh no. See, and actually, we're
No,
sitting
but we're
in
not all on
previous.
the same planet. Do you
We're
realize
sitting
we're
in
not all the
previous
same reality?
generations.
Mhm.
Previous generations manifested that, and that's what we're sitting in.
Yeah.
See, to me, this is like living in fear, is by thinking that, oh my God, I'm manifesting everything I'm thinking. And,
Yeah.
oh, I better not think that because I'm going to manifest that. That's kind of like my uncle who was very religious, right? He didn't want to talk about demons. He was scared to death to talk about
No, I
demons.
talk
or
about
devils.
demons all the time.
No, I'm just saying, okay? He was living in that kind of fear. He thought that if he thought about or talked about demons, that he was going to manifest demons around him. And he was scared of that. And that's kind of like
okay.
the
Yeah,
whole
I
love
see.
and light sort of community is kind of
Well,
doing
those
now.
kind of people drive me crazy too. Those kind of people drive me crazy
Yeah.
too. No, I am
So,
not one of those
You got to
love
be
and
able to
light
talk
that
about it
everything's
without
love and light.
worrying
everything's
about
this and that.
manifesting it. Like we got to be able to talk without manifesting as well. So, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Well, the way that you do that, I offer techniques.
Yeah,
to
control
do
your
that
energy,
too.
people. Don't be manifesting these things.
Yeah,
No.
just don't sit in focus. That's what it means. Putting your energy into it is like holding that focus and just keep digging deep into it. Simply chilling, relax, neutralize yourself, balanced emotion, keep yourself in check, and chat about it and call it good. And realize you don't consent to it, you don't like it at all, you don't approve of it in your timeline, stuff like that. Just let it go, and then eventually it gets forgotten and it doesn't get brung up for a while.
Yeah. If it doesn't fit, don't wear it.
Yeah.
Just cast it aside. Poop. It's not in my reality, and that's a good way to manifest.
You offer ways to cast that aside too. You can cast off the damage and the stuff they're doing to you. There's piloerection.
Actually,
There's
yes. Yes.
do entire shows on
Let's
that.
just make an agreement not to take each other's comments personally, okay?
Yeah.
Let's not take it personal, honey. This is just the way. I'm not trying to denigrate your
Well,
show or her
then
show or
measure
anybody's
your
show
words
that's
better.
doing.
Then measure your words
It
a little.
didn't sound good, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it didn't sound good, but
No.
that's not what I'm trying to do. Okay, it's just frustrating that I can't get people to understand. If you got to start small, start small. Start small. Start manifesting things small to prove to yourself that you can do it, that you can make these changes.
Hmm.
That's what to do. Take your godhood back. That's what I'm trying to help with. And once you take your
That's great.
godhood back, then you can change things and you don't feel helpless anymore. And you don't feel like we've got to go down this way or that way or the
Nobody
way
here
that they're
feels helpless.
pushing us.
I don't. It's a story. Why do you feel helpless?
I don't. I don't. I
Well,
certainly
the
don't. But I
thing
run
is,
into a lot of people that do. I run into people that are
Mhm.
practically on the verge of killing themselves. They feel so helpless.
yeah, there's
I'm
going to be a
sorry,
lot
but
of
I
that.
just that's
There's
part
going
of
to
the
be a lot of
problem.
that. Yeah, and unfortunately, this information might cause some people to do that,
Yeah.
and there will be a lot of that.
Yeah.
The truth is not fun.
No.
But it
What
is
was it?
what it
War of the
is.
Worlds, where people were running around,
Yeah,
crazy, because of
especially
the War of
once
the
the
Worlds.
whole religion thing, all these religious people, they're probably going to exit. Like I said, exit out of here. They're not going to be able to handle the truth. And
Yeah.
so
A lot of people are going, and I think they need to go. They're just leaving. They're just leaving. They're not really. And I
exactly.
know that sounds
Moving
very
on.
unfeeling. They're just leaving the game, okay? They're leaving the sim.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So a
have
lot of
to
people
agree
really
with
are.
Cool Channel. Yeah, a lot of NPCs are just walking around, and we have to just
Yes.
ignore
right.
them.
Mm-hmm.
A
Yeah.
lot of NPCs are going to be leaving the game. We don't need them anymore. I'm sorry. I know some of you are very attached to them. And even I'm attached to some of them, but a lot of them are going to be leaving because we don't need them now.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to need as many of them. And that's part of it. And it's not a and their depopulation is so funny because the depopulation agenda is probably playing right into that, though. Maybe that's the way that the Matrix is deleting them. I don't know. Maybe that's the way they're being deleted. I don't know that.
They're being taken out, out of the
They're being
game
taken out of the game.
with a lot of different ways, as we have discussed on this channel. You know what I mean? There's a lot of ways to take us out. And
Got
But I mean,
opposing
I've
views
run into people
out here.
that are so
I agree with
so dejected. I mean, and they're so angry. They're so uh, depressed. They're and I think the depression is intentional. And John, I got to give you credit for talking about the lily wave. I
Well, yeah,
believe
if
that's
people know
100%
that they're
true.
being acted upon, they can, counter it,
mm-hmm.
you
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? Please don't
Bringing
take
awareness.
this.
Just bringing awareness, and what you do with
Mhm.
that, well, that's your own choice. You can choose to just go back, and there's tons of love and light, new age channels out there that you
I
can
don't
help you
recommend them, though.
manifest and kumbaya and all that stuff. Tons of stuff.
Hello, Bruce.
This is
Oh,
not the
God,
place
you
for
don't
that.
have to be one side or the other, though, folks. You can be, you know what? It's funny because I'm kind of in the middle, and yet it's like people on one side see me as the other side. No matter what, it's like a lot of people that are on the two polarities, like the love and light people, which kind of make my stomach turn, and the other ones, which kind of are kind of scary and depressing. Between those two, they always see me as the other side. I'm not. I'm somewhere in the middle, really.
Well, you know what? Maybe that's your position. Maybe that's your. I'm starting to see it as we each have our own individual thing we're working on, but yet at the same time,
Yeah.
it still connects everybody together to it, though. It's like a
Right.
learning lesson for other people to learn what you're dealing with, but at the same time, it's to help you learn something as well. I don't know. It's like we each have our own like mission we're working on to help people understand things in a different way. And I actually despise
I'll be
and
right back.
myself and frustrated when people bring up new age stuff. You know, I understand. But it's starting to feel like a competition, and it's like, it's not a competition, it's sharing perspectives, and whether you resonate it with it or not, I don't think putting people down and calling them a new ager is kind of appropriate. Actually, I think that goes into the going against people again. I mean, we're not against anybody is the point. We shouldn't be dissing on people at all, and just respecting they're stuck in some type of perspective they can't get past, or they're learning through something at the moment. I think there's this too much hate against other people going on, and I don't think it's fair to people in general, and it's not fair to humanity to be stuck in that position to sit there and constantly put people against each other. It's not productive.
It's not what I did, okay.
Actually, putting people against each other is exactly what they want. Exactly what they want.
So I'd say, what if you don't agree with their perspective, just don't attack the person, let it go. Maybe there's and I'm learning behind the scenes there's always entities pulling cords too. There's other beings pulling other people.
Yes.
It's not
That's
that
what I was
Absolutely.
trying to say earlier. Yeah, how much of your thoughts are really your thoughts?
Yeah.
You know, so you got to remember that.
Let's agree on the things we can agree on. I mean, come on. There are a lot of things we really agree on, a lot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's bring that up, and it's good to bring up the things we don't agree on. I listen to you guys. I was quiet for a long time. Okay, so it's not that I don't listen to you.
Yeah,
Okay,
most people don't want to hear the stuff that we talk about.
Yep.
So, you know, kudos for those who are here and listening and whatever, you know, because, yeah, most
Right, I'm
people
here.
can't handle the truth. You know, that sentence there was a lot of truth in that, you know, and they choose not to for their own protection because,
Well,
you know,
another
some
5
are
minutes,
more
guys.
sensitive than others. You know, just they choose
Well,
not
a lot
to.
of people are not. They're not bright enough to be able to. There's something that, okay, I don't want to go down that road. There's something I really want you to try to understand. We're not living in the same version of Earth. We're all not living in the same version of Earth. Please try and understand. We don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. We see things with our own filters. We have our own filters, our own set of filters that are filtering. Our brains are picking up electrical signals. We are not seeing reality at all. We have never touched anything in our entire lives. Okay? We've never touched one thing ever. It's impossible. You can't do it. And look up the scientific reasons for that. I'm not going to go into that.
Actually,
But
it's physically true. You can't because it's
There
two
is physics.
opposing poles.
You can't. If you did, there's always positive and negative, and you've already talked about
But that has
this.
less to do with papers or what we're talking about here. But
It
you know,
kind of
if
does,
if
because
you in reality choose not to believe it exists, that's your choice. And if you know,
no, that's not the point. Okay, I give up. Well, I'll talk about whatever you're talking about.
all right.
I'm not going to try and.
Well, this all got
I've
talking
said
about
what I've said.
positive. We do have a positive way out of this. There are solutions. There are ways to do it. But knowledge is key. If we don't have knowledge, but yeah, I do
Yes.
do solution shows as well. Everyone should learn how to do pilo erection, giving yourself goosebumps, because that disconnects you from when they're trying to log into you.
Right.
You might hear a high pitched noise. You might feel a change in pressure, and when you do that, it'll disconnect. So, and grounding
I'm
helps.
wishing you a whole
Get
pile of
grounded.
erections right there.
Yeah, give yourself as many erections as you can. You know? So, yeah, we do have solutions. And, you know, if we can get control of this technology, it can be used for great good. You know, weather technology, all this
That's my
electronic
point.
technology. We could green up the entire world, like Nina says.
Can we imagine? Can we start imagining? Can we start imagining ways that this could go good?
Yeah, rain. I've said it many
Yeah,
times. Rain at
we
3 a.m.
can do
3
that.
a.m.
We
every
can.
morning. I'd like 3 a.m. rain every night. That'd be perfect.
Exactly. We can do that. We can do it.
Yep.
You want to
All
do
right,
that?
guys,
You
that's
want to
all the time
manifest
we
that?
got for today. Until next time, much love to you all. Keep your third eye open. Use your intelligence and your intuition. Bye-bye.
Or I'll see you guys on
Okay, love
Sunday.
y'all.
Have a good night.
Peace.
Bye. See you Sunday. Because that's